Hey there guys, Miss Activist here. Um, Today I'm gonna talk about play spaces, outdoor play spaces, Waldorf Montessori style. Um, so this is my yard and my new home. This guy needs help. He got the lawnmower stuck. Hey, calm down. Um, so right now I'm in a townhome. My 5-year goal is to move on lots of land. But anyways, so what I'm going to do out here is I'm going to fence in the yard. That way it creates boundaries from our neighbors. I know my children will be able to go out and play and be in our yard and can't wander off or step in the neighbor's dog's poop. Um, so first off, garden. Um, Edible plants that your child knows they can pick off fruit and eat is a great plus for a play space. We're starting the terrible two tantrums already. What's wrong? Did the lawnmower get stuck again? So first off, an edible garden, again, that your kids can pick food off of, berries and such, is great for play spaces. Sensory garden, um, here, like plants that they can touch, again, plants they can eat. Um, there's lots of great plants. I'll touch on that when I go to work on mine more. But see right here, that line right there is where our property ends. There will be a fence there, and in that back area is going to be our garden. Somewheres I'm going to be having a sensory garden probably close by to that as well, so they can touch and play. Some shade in some yards are necessary. Ours, the sun is on it pretty much all day, so I'm probably gonna be planting some stuff for shade, like small, little mini willow trees and such, things like that. What else? Sand and water are great pieces to incorporate in your yard as well, for play spaces. We're going to be doing a sand area with rocks and all kinds of pieces, and have our tractors and trucks and such in them. And, they can use them for the tractors, trucks, or other sand play. Water, I'm going to, I'm not exactly sure how we'll be incorporating water just yet, other than our spouts for our gutters. I'm going to be pouring concrete and rocks and making it where it makes the water run down into the yard more, and so and have probably a little area where it collects but can still drain out so it doesn't get nasty. But so that way our water play happens in sync with weather, so it makes them be more aware of weather and such. So like when it rains, they know they'll have water out there to play with and all. So yeah, those are great pieces to incorporate into play space outdoors. Water play, sand, sensory garden to, have your children help you with your garden, planting plants, watching them grow, picking them when they're ready, all of that. Of course, you want to try to keep out pesticides and such, and use things such as dimaceous earth and everything. We'll be learning about plants that keep certain bugs away, and also draw certain bugs. We want to definitely have food for our honeybees in our yard. We're going to be planting plants to keep away mosquitoes, because there are lots of them around here. We have a swamp nearby in the woods back there that's fenced in with barbed wire. So yeah, things like that. It's definitely another reason on why I want a fence. Um, so yeah, small spaces you can still definitely make work. My yard is far from large, but it's definitely not as small as some townhomes yards or homes yards. What else will be incorporating? Loose materials. So, um, acorns, pine cones, log slices that they can move around, make stepping stones with. I'm talking about like large ones. Arms around in a circle, pieces but thin, so they're able to move them around, make stepping stones, whatever with them. Branches and stuff. There's ways to you can bake them, and there's many ways on getting the wood ready and prepped to have in a play space or in your home. Loose materials are very important for play. My yard's pretty much a clean slate and ready to go because we just purchased it in May and moved in on Friday the 13th. So yeah, let's see. What else is important about play spaces? I'm sure I'll be making another video on it and all. But so yeah, here. I guess I'll show you guys my play space real quick. I'm sorry, got it all up in my face. I can't turn my video around. So I'll just turn the phone around. So see where that line is up there? Right there, that's where my yard ends. You can see where the grass is cut. And then over here near where that lawnmower is, right by there is where my yard ends on that side. So like I said, down in the back area, back here will be my garden, sensory space. Over here is where I'll be having the water come from. You can see right now I got the spout running out of it. I'm going to pour concrete and have it where it runs, down into the yard, and they'll have water to play with, and the weather's nice. Our previous owners really destroyed up under here, so that really needs all cleaned up. The porch is going to be completely redone and large, fenced or screened in, and with the roofs. I'm going to put plants all up in there so that way when the weather's bad, the kids can play in it. Still have plants here, buddy. Don't put it in your mouth. They can still play in it, have plants surrounding them. Still feel outdoors, still get a sense of outdoors, but be protected by the roof and everything. So I'd like to know about your guys' play spaces. What are your plans for your outdoor play space? What have you already done to your outdoor play space? Is there anything that inspires you? Like, for example, Waldorf and Montessori and Reggio styles inspire me and what I want to do in my home. I definitely want to be more self-reliant, so we'll be canning food eventually. Still need to teach myself more about that. I definitely want my children to have these life skills and know how to support themselves if something happened and they needed to, and just to be more self-reliant. Having your own garden definitely saves you a lot of money. It's healthier food. You know what's going into your food, what's happening to your food. It's a great learning experience for your children and bonding experience. It's great for them to be up in the dirt, to get the fresh air and all of that. I think this guy's ready to nurse. We're going to do this side because cutting a tooth that is hurting me on that side for some reason. Maybe he's latching asleep. Yeah, so here's an opportunity to talk about trying breastfeeding, I guess then, since I'm kind of hit my limit on all that for right now. Yeah, this guy's Loki. He's 16 months. We've made it with donor milk. Otherwise, he would not have received only breast milk because I have a hormonal issue that causes me to not make enough milk or cap out at a low amount right around 2 to 3 months. They just stop growing as quickly and hit a limit of about 3 ounces of intake. So I end up having to supplement, and I start out with like a ½ ounce after feeds if they're still hungry with an S&S or a bottle, depending on how I feel. But yeah, so we use donor milk from a couple friends. My friend has wet nursed him when I had photo shoots to do, and or if I was low on donor milk or whatever. It's been a great help. It's definitely helped his immune system. I feel that he's receiving all these antibodies and all these great things. That's why they say it takes a community, because back in the day, babies would receive breast milk from many mothers in the community, so they're receiving all kinds of great antibodies and all those great things. But yeah, so we've made it through a lot. It was definitely much easier with him because I was more prepared after extreme struggles with my 3-year-old and the bandwagon of just put the baby to the breast, just keep nursing, you'll make enough, just drink more water, drink more Gatorade, take fenugreek, all these things, mother's milk tea. For some people those don't work. That's not enough, and it can be dangerous to tell women over and over, just put the baby to the breast and it'll all be fine, because sometimes, it's not all fine. Sometimes they do need more. And I understand trying to help women not get into that vicious cycle of supplementing and then their supply dropping, but there are women, thousands of women, that have true supply issues, and it's really dangerous to tell them just keep putting baby to breast and everything will be fine, because my 3-year-old ended up having issues with weight, not all connected to my low supply. Some of it was, because of his reflux, and the doctor failed to listen or provide him with medication to help with it. Yeah, so donor milk and wet nursing. Who else here has provided donor milk or been a recipient of donor milk, or wet nursing, who's wet nursed or had their child wet nursed? I'd like to hear your stories. Build a community up, ladies. And so yeah, it definitely gets harder as they get older. They as you can clearly see, move around a lot, gymnastics, and they want to twiddle with the other side, which absolutely drives me bonkers, and I'm constantly moving him from it and trying to stop him. Then of course the teeth, the molars coming in, gets painful. They definitely have an opinion on it now and can throw tantrums for it, as I had shown my friends on my personal page earlier a tantrum of him freaking out because I would not give him the boob because mommy just needed a minute. But I think my memory's getting full, so I'm gonna end this. But this is Miss Activist, touching on a little bit of breastfeeding and outdoor play space. So again, I'd love to see, or I'll start a post on on Miss Activist Mama Tribe on Facebook, and I'd like to see your pictures, maybe your outdoors play space or your plans, pictures of plans. Whoa, that ball came out of nowheres. As well as talking about breastfeeding. You can always comment here on anything that you'd like to say as well. Alright, bye guys.